Guys, I'm Aveline and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So today we are building another, professions-based tiny house, I suppose. So the last time I did one of these, I think it might have been the detective's tiny house or something. I said that I wanted to do more of them and then I just kind of postponed it a little bit because I don't want to make it a proper series. I just want to do them now and then, you know? So it's not like I have to come up with one for every Wednesday, every week, or something like that, because I get kind of tired of that. I feel like I'm forced to do it. I just don't like that. Like, I'd have to sit down and think, so what profession are we building for this time? And I don't know, that thought doesn't sit right with me, so I just kind of postponed it a little bit. But I still want to do more of these, so there may be 2 weeks in between, maybe 3 weeks or something, but I feel like they're a lot of fun to do, also because you get to decorate for a lot of different people, I suppose, a lot of different Sims in different professions, obviously, as their professions inspire tiny houses, but still, like, for example, today we're building for a criminal mastermind and they don't have a house that looks the same at all to the detective's tiny house that I did a while back. So also because they're polar opposites, basically. That wasn't on purpose. That just kind of happened. I sat down and I was like, which profession is fun and different? I had a couple of different ones in mind, but then criminal mastermind came to me and was like, yes, that is perfect. Let's do it. And at first, I thought that it was going to be a normal tiny house, but then I thought, like, wouldn't a criminal kind of want to live, like, sort of off the grid? They don't live off the grid, by the way, because no, not today, but sort of off the grid. So, like, in a secret place, kind of. So I figured it would make sense to make their house underground, so it's a little bit secret. You'll see towards the end when I start doing landscaping around the house or the house opening. How do you explain that? I don't really know. But I basically put a lot of trash and junk up there, so it basically it doesn't look very appealing. It's not like, I would personally not look at it and think, hey, that looks interesting, I'll go take a look. I'd be like, okay, that's a lot of trash, let's just move on. So that's the feel I was going for, in case you're wondering why there's like broken cars and stuff around this little house. And also, usually with underground houses, I like to use the glass inserts that come with, what is it called? Island Living, but because this house is supposed to be a little bit more secretive, I figured it wouldn't make much sense to put down glass inserts because that kind of opens up the house a little bit more. I used some of the wall decor from Eco Lifestyle as well to kind of look like, or to make it look like there are bars over the windows as well, so it's harder to look inside the house. And yeah, I was having a lot of fun with a few details here and there that just kind of makes the house a little bit, not just weird, but also hopefully a little bit more secretive and mysterious and you know, that kind of thing. So that is what we're doing today. Also, this house is very dark. Like, the whole interior, right now I'm going for all black plus gold, I think, because I figured if they're a criminal mastermind, they would have money, but they don't necessarily want to flaunt it because that's a little bit suspicious. So they live underground, but they do have this sort of luxurious interior. However, I feel like the vibe that I was going for was just a little bit, like, I don't like the Get Famous items, the tacky looking items. Not for this at least. Then it has to be like a huge kind of mansion or something that would fit perfectly, but not for this kind of house. So I actually do end up changing it so it looks a little bit more contemporary, I want to say. I used a lot of stuff from City Living, actually, I think, and possibly also the other part of Get Famous, actually, so the mid-century modern stuff. I don't know, I just kind of was going for like a luxurious feel still, but just brightened it up a little bit and got rid of the tacky looking items, because again, I feel like those just did not fit into a tiny house. Like, there's too much personality in those items. They take up too much space, if you get what I mean, so I just had to swap them out. It's the same, like, you can't put Judith Ward in a tiny house. It doesn't fit. You can't put Bella Goth in a tiny house because she's too iconic. She wouldn't fit into the tiny house. Do not ask me to make a tiny house for the Goth family, because no, not today. But the color scheme that we ended up going for is sort of like black, gray, and red, actually. So not a color scheme that I'm particularly fond of. I feel like red is a little bit difficult to use when it comes to interiors. There's just... I get that people like it, it's not that, but to me, I feel like it's a very empowering or a very overpowering color, so it just goes on the red items very easily, and it's just a little bit much. So I do understand if a lot of you don't really like this house, because it is very different, but do keep in mind it's for a criminal mastermind. Like, it's a bit of a different kind of household we're dealing with today, so. But I did have a lot of fun building this house and also decorating it, so I hope that at least the majority of you guys like it, but if not, that's also completely okay. I also added this little, kind of like a hidden office, almost surveillance room. You'll see that at the end. Once I'm done with the living area, I think I move on to the office, and I kind of had this idea. I don't know if it's because I've been watching a lot of Criminal Minds lately. I almost said Mastermind. I've been watching Criminal Minds. That's probably why I built a house for a criminal mastermind. Let's be honest. I was inspired by the series that I'm watching. Subconsciously inspired. Not that I've seen any of the villains in that series with a house like this. That's not it, but like just the theme. I think I was subconsciously inspired by the TV series. So anyways, you know Garcia in that series has her room with all the... I know she's not a villain. She's one of the good ones. At least so far. If she turns evil later on, don't tell me. Anyways, but she has her room with all the not the TVs, all the monitors and stuff. I kind of wanted a room like that for the villain living in this house, but I didn't have enough space to make it huge, so it's a 2x2 room. It's fully functional, but there's a lot going on in there. There's like 3 monitors, a surveillance screen that I found from Strangerville. There's also 2 TVs and stuff, so you'll see that later on in the video, but I felt like I just kind of had to explain what exactly all those monitors were for, because often I'll build something and while I'm building, I'm like thinking to myself, you need to explain exactly what this is about, because otherwise a lot of people probably won't get it, because a lot of stuff isn't very like translatable when it comes to interior. You get what I mean? Like you can tell a history, but maybe if I try to tell a history with an interior, you'd probably understand half of it, and then the other half you could possibly misunderstand or something like that. So it's often like that with interiors, I think. So I often do stuff like that in my builds, but then when I do the voiceovers, I'll forget. So just in case, I'll forget. I just wanted to explain it. So I also try to use one of the doors that look like, it's like a bookcase, but yeah, so basically it opens to a secret room, like a hidden room or something. But the 2 doors we have like that, I didn't feel like style-wise they fit into the rest of the house, so I decided to just go with a normal door. I do put a sign on it later on though, and just in case you're wondering what that's about, it still works. It still opens and closes, at least it does in my game. And it's basically, just pretend like it says warning, do not enter, or something like that. I realize that that's highly suspicious, of course, but if you're visiting this house, first of all, I don't think the sim that lives in this house has a lot of visitors, to be honest. I think they're very secretive. I think they're very careful as well. Obviously, they live in an underground home, so they must be careful. An underground home that's kind of hidden as well, so not just... It's not as hidden as I could have made it, but I also had to keep in mind that as a YouTuber, I also have to make a thumbnail that makes sense, so I couldn't hide it more than I was able to. But if you've somehow managed to find this house without being invited, and you've somehow managed to get through the security measures and enter the house, and you'd see another locked door that says warning on it, I think that makes sense, right? Is that just me? I don't know. Also, around this house, or not around the house, but at least around the bookcase and also in the office, because I felt like the rest of the house needed to be a little bit clean and tidy and stuff, but in those little areas, I did put some boxes with secret documents, like super secret documents, probably very incriminating. And also there's a couple of stacks with documents as well in the office, just because I feel like it fit in. Like maybe they have dirt on everyone, not to, just ignore what's happening on YouTube right now. If you're not into drama on YouTube, don't go look it up, because just don't bother. Anyways, but I felt like it would just kind of make sense if they had a lot of like random documents just scattered around in these small areas, but still kept the rest of the house quite tidy. So that's what that was about. They're not useful for gameplay or anything. They're not functional. It's just decor pieces, but to me it made sense. I think the last time I did an interior using this sort of color scheme, it was probably in like 2017 when I did Zodiac bedrooms, I think, something like that. And it was for a Scorpio, I think, because their color is red, as far as I remember. It's been a while since I read up on the zodiac signs. I also realized that a lot of you have been asking for a zodiac signs tiny house series, but again, I'm not really a big fan of series. I don't like to do them because I feel like I have to... One week I might be super motivated to do like an Aquarius tiny house, but that doesn't mean that next week I'm up for making a Pisces tiny house. I just kind of, I have to be in the mood to build what I'm building. Otherwise I won't actually put time into it. I won't do it properly, So that's why I sucked at doing homework, for example. Actually, I was okay at doing homework. Dad, if you're watching, please don't come for me. So, anyways, but I do realize that that's been asked for a couple of times. I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but I do have it like at the back of my mind for those of you who are going to ask. Because whenever I bring something up, for example, this time, zodiac signs, I'll always get suggestions if I can do something inspired by that, so... It's like, it's a habit or not a habit, I've realized, I recognize that it's gonna happen by now. How do you say that? Anyways, so since we haven't mentioned my neighbor today, I thought I would just explain why I might sound a little bit weird today or seem a little bit hyper. I'm the opposite of hyper. I am super tired, because for the past, I don't actually know if it's my neighbor doing it this time, but for the past 4 days, so you guys know that I have a bit of a messed up sleeping schedule because I do my best work. I am most efficient at like editing and stuff after 6 p.m., which sucks, but luckily I work from home with myself, so I can do work when I want to. However, basically for the past 4 days, I've been woken up at 6:30, which is early for me, by someone drilling, and I've had to sleep on my couch because it's so loud in my bedroom. It's still loud in the living room, but at least it's a little less loud. So I feel like at this point I'm slightly delirious because I'm just tired. I just need like a full night's sleep without being woken up and having to move to another room to continue to sleep. So that's been going on, just in case you're wondering, because I feel like I haven't mentioned my neighbor in a while, but now you got that update. However, I'm not really sure that it's actually him. Like, I feel like they're doing something or adding something to one of the apartments at the end of the block, or I don't know, something like that, but I'm not fully sure because I've not actually looked at the apartment building from that side. It's difficult to explain. It's fine, but there's something going on. Someone's drilling a lot and it's super disruptive and to my sleep. I just want to sleep. But that's it, basically. If I seem a little bit weird, it's because I haven't been able to sleep. So anyways, I'm still counting on recording the Shell Challenge tour video today, even though I'll probably look like a zombie, but maybe that's a good look for me. I don't really know. We'll see. And also, I'm still counting on doing a challenge for this weekend and another video. We'll see how it goes if I can manage to edit the videos and stuff, because I've had some editing issues too. I don't know, there's a lot going on right now. It's fine. I'm also working on some other channels that I'll keep you guys updated on the community tab for those of you who are interested. We're both working on the server. Actually, right now we're waiting for the server to be fixed. The Minecraft server, I should say. So if you're interested in that, it'll be up and running at some point. We've just had a few issues with it, so We're waiting for that to be fixed, but if you're interested in joining once it's up, you do need to join my Discord server because the instructions to join the server will be on the Discord server. That was a lot of servers. Anyways, there is an invitation link to my Discord in the description box down below. And here you can see me kind of trying to add a lot of like random rocks and also junk. So we have a broken fridge that came with Eco Lifestyle and a couple of trashed cars. I believe they're from Strangerville. And there's also some cans and stuff. I don't know, probably also from Strangerville, not really sure, but basically, I just try to make it look like it would be a mess, so you wouldn't want to go that way. You'd want to go the opposite direction or something like that. But anyways, that is about it for today. So if you guys like this house, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Too bad I hate advice, 'cause out of sight and out of mind is perfect. It's so hard to decide. Oh, I know he got me good in his pocket. I know that I'm just a treat. Well, the taste is bitter. Oh, go on, showing my bones, and when he's done, he's spitting me out. I just can't help myself. One for the pain, no hesitation. Took us again, nothing can save us, yeah. I just wanna be around you. I just wanna be free for the night. All in or nothing, not gonna stop. Dance till the morning light. I just wanna be around you. I just wanna be around you. He looks at me like I know what he's